Civilians are supposed to be off limits in war zones. But a draft UN report says in Yemen, the Saudi-led coalition has failed to spare children for a second straight year. The report, obtained by Al Jazeera, says that last year, coalition airstrikes killed or injured 683 children. Houthis were responsible for another 414 casualties. Diplomats say the situation is dire.
We call on all sides to avoid any civilian casualties, particularly that of children. And in Yemen, we particularly, of course, call on all sides to permit humanitarian access, because the humanitarian situation is deeply concerning.
The draft also includes a proposed criticism from Secretary-General Antonio Guterres of Saudi Arabia's conduct in the war. Grave violations against children continues at unacceptably high levels in 2016. I urge the government of Saudi Arabia to continue to refine and fully implement the measures put in place in 2016 to realize the goal of better protection of children. Sources confirm, as a result, the Saudis are likely to be put on the report's so-called name and shame list. On Twitter, the Saudi UN mission insisted it's done nothing wrong in Yemen, and that it shouldn't be put on the list. Last year, the Saudis threatened to withhold UN funding if they weren't dropped from that same list for killing children in Yemen in 2015. The UN relented, but demanded the Saudis engage in talks to ensure they follow the rules. Al Jazeera asked how the UN can guarantee the Saudis won't try the funding tactic again.
The basic point of the list, the report, and the entire process that we go through is that we want effective tools to make member states and non-member parties improve their records regarding how children are treated in different conflict situations. If they can take concrete steps that can help ensure that children themselves will be protected, that actually helps fulfill the purpose of the task that we're trying to do.
Human rights groups want to see if the UN strategy will work.
Now we know there's a draft with the name of the Saudis on it. Let's hope that when the list finally becomes public in a few weeks, they'll stay there.
The challenge for the UN is trying to hold the Saudis accountable without creating more problems for the organization's finances, or, for that matter, Yemeni children. Rosiland, Al Jazeera at the United Nations.